So far, in our study of chords, we have always written our triads in root position. This means that the root note is written at the bottom of the triad, followed by a third and fifth above it. This triad is a C major triad, and we could label it with a C major chord symbol. These triads are also C major triads, as they also contain the notes C, E, and G. The only difference here is that the E or the G is written as the lowest note rather than the C. We call these different positions inversions. When the third of the triad is at the bottom of the triad, we call it first inversion, and when the fifth of the triad is at the bottom, we call it second inversion. When identifying an inverted triad, we must make sure that we are naming the chord after the root of the triad and not just the bottom note. To do this, we will need to rearrange the notes by taking them down or up an octave to ensure that they sit on 3 consecutive lines or in 3 consecutive spaces. Once we have done this, we can use the methods we learnt in the previous videos to label the triads with Roman numerals or chord symbols. To indicate that a triad is inverted, we will need to add numbers to the Roman numerals or slashes to the chord symbols. We will begin by looking at the Roman numeral method. As you already know, a root position triad is made up of a third and a fifth above the root note. If we look at a first inversion triad, where the third of the triad is written as our lowest note, we can see that we have the interval of a third and a sixth above the lowest notes. In a second inversion triad, where the fifth of the triad is written as the lowest note, we have the intervals of a fourth and a sixth above the lowest note. Triads traditionally consist of thirds and fifths, so when labeling triad inversions, we leave these numbers out as they are assumed. This means that no numbers indicate a root position triad. A little 6 written next to a Roman numeral indicates a first inversion triad, and a little 6 and 4 next to a Roman numeral indicate a second inversion triad. To indicate an inverted triad using a chord symbol, we would simply add a slash and the name of the lowest note of the chord to the chord symbol. Chord symbols without a slash are always assumed to be in root position.